talk to you all in a moment, but the first thing I want to say is to the voters of Melbourne. I want to say to you, thank you. There are millions of people across this country who do not want election campaigns to be a race to the bottom, but instead want to see us reaching for the stars. Through you, the voters of Melbourne, those people have found a voice. And there are people across the country who believe it's not right to cut funds to universities or single parents, while Gina Reinhardt gets off scot-free. And through you, the voters of Melbourne, they have found a voice in this next campaign. And there are many of you who have voted for me and for us for the first time today. And I want to say a special thank you to you, because for some of you, you have said you've changed the voting patterns of a lifetime, and that can be a hard thing to do. And I will not let you down. The Labor Party, when it engages in a race to the bottom with Tony Abbott and tries to out-tough him, which is something you should never do because there's nothing Tony Abbott won't do. They said it's time to stop. And there are people who might be on the Liberal side who have said, where are the values of small L liberalism and tolerance and diversity being represented, and have come over to us. And to all of you, I say thank you. And I want to say also thank you to a very important group of people in Melbourne who often go unrepresented and undiscussed on the national stage. In Melbourne, we have more public housing than anyone else. Lucky enough in Melbourne to have more people who are born overseas and who come over here as residents. To all of those people who have seen the work we've done over the last few years and who have said, yes, the Greens represent my values, I say thank you. And especially, I want to thank my very good friends in the African Australian community. Many religions, many groups have come together and said, we want a voice in Parliament, and I can tell you this, I will keep working with you every day for the next 3 years, and we will make sure that everyone across this country understands just how fantastic it is that you are here with us in Melbourne, and I am so proud of you. Who voted for us in 2010 and have voted for us again, we've made history again! The combined forces of Liberal and Labor who said we have more in common with each other than we have with you and we want you out. And the people of Melbourne, there are potentially some grim days ahead. And we've seen in the last few days what's in store under a Tony Abbott government. We've seen him say that he wants to take billions from the world's poorest people to drive a tollway through the Melbourne. And we have seen him say it's not just the poorest people around the world, but the most vulnerable here in Australia who are going to pay the price under his government. And what we are going to find as we head into this next period of Parliament, as Labor, when they had government, couldn't work out who they wanted to lead them, and it's going to be quite similar in opposition as they take a while to rebuild. Well, the Greens will be ready to hit the ground running from day one to be a real alternative to Tony Abbott. And with representation now in both houses of Parliament and the superb leadership of Christine Milne, we are up for the challenge, and in these dark days ahead, the Greens will keep alive the light on the hill. It's just that this time it'll be solar power. All about every one of you in this room, because you should just take a moment to think and just remember this tonight, because you have just done something no one else in Australian political history. When you have door knocked, put up placards, made those phone calls, gone to something I didn't know existed called data party, all through the night, lost sleep, and when your partners and your families at home have said, why are you doing this? Well, this is why. This is why. I'm so proud of every one of you. Because you have done something that now no one can ever take away from you. You have defeated the combined might of the old parties and said there is a role in this country for people who want a clean economy and a more caring society, and we're going to rest. To come out and support us. Many of them doing it for the first time. We had the union representing staff in universities, the MTU. Coming out and saying, sometimes it costed themselves, look, we actually want people in Parliament who aren't just going to say the right thing, but will vote for it as well. We won't let you down either. Because the best bit about all of this is, in an election campaign that's been dominated by 3-word slogans, well, I've got a 4-word one: we've only just begun. There is, of course, some other counting going on, and I feel confident tonight to know that I'll be joined in the next Parliament not only by Richard Di Natale but by Senator Janet Rice. come in, because as everyone knows, and as some people have lived through before, Senate counting is something that you really want to wait until the numbers are in before you make that final call. But I feel really happy knowing I'll have someone sitting next to me on the plane who's not soaking the rebellion. There's many more people that over the course of the next week I'm going to get a chance to thank individually. And you will know who you are, and I'll make sure that you all know it personally. But there's a number of people here that I just want to single out. One is Beryl. I had the great pleasure of going around and wishing Beryl a happy 80th birthday the other day. A birthday day that Beryl celebrated by writing a letter, getting it photocopied with her kids and her grandkids and putting it into the letterbox and saying, we need a voice in Parliament that will continue to give us hope. And I just want to say, Beryl, you made my week. Singing them out, but I have just been so lucky to have been surrounded by a team of amazing staff members from day one who have guided me through an incredible time in Australian political history, and I'm sure they will continue to do so. And so I just want you all to give them 3 years worth of applause. I'm also really lucky to have my folks here who've come over from Perth, and some of you may know they spent the last week doing what you've all been doing for the last 3 years, and I think it's opened their eyes a bit as to what exactly you've been doing. But I think the best bit was when my mum arrived from Perth and arrived at the airport and jumped in a cab to come to visit me at the office. But I said, oh, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to visit my son. Who's your son? Adam Bandt. My wife and I are going to be handing out for him on Saturday. I'd like now to just ask your indulgence. Could you all please give a special thanks to Claudia. Being the partner of an MP, especially one who's been in balance of power in the lower house and the minority in Parliament. And can I just say, you all owe Claudia a huge debt of thanks. Finish again by thanking all of you, because this is not the end. This is the start of something incredible. You have just laid down the template for how the Greens will continue to grow in other seats around the country. You have just shown that the Greens will be this country's next major political party. you, Bernard. We're going to take a day off from door knocking tomorrow. Come and join us, and you're going to hear a bit later on what we've got planned for tomorrow and the next few days. And I just can't wait to spend the next 3 years working with you to show this country that there is a better way. Thank you.